chocolate.
On today's show, we'll be asking whether PMT is just a woman's excuse for being moody. And does size really matter?
It would if I was your missus.
Plus, which one of Boyzone would you most like to run off with?
Oh, hello. But kicking off today's chat, presenter Christine Blakely has been spotted out with her footballer boyfriend Frank Lampard and some of the lads from the Chelsea squad following on from the team's FA Cup win at the weekend. And it appears that she was, well, just one of the few women who was encouraged to go out on the outing. So would we feel comfortable joining in on a lads' night out, girls?
Yes, obviously. Yeah, I would actually. When I was younger, I mean really much younger, 17, 18, I used to go out every Friday with my brother and all his friends, and I was the only girl that was allowed to go out with them all. They were all like my big brothers, really. So I wasn't a threat to any of their girlfriends, blah, blah, blah. But I used to have the best time. I mean, we just did nothing but laugh. We had just... I used to live for Fridays. I loved it. And I love men's company anyway.
Yeah. Do you prefer going out with the men than the women?
I wonder what you're going to say, then.
I didn't mean that how it sounded, actually. But I mean, would you rather go out with a group of guys than a group of girls?
I think it's two completely different nights out. You know, with the men, you can have a laugh and all of that. With women, it's like going out for counselling for 4 hours, but it's brilliant at the same time. You do. As women, you put the world to rights.
And with men, you don't have to think, do you? Because, you know, you just have to be there. It's true, isn't it? With women, you know, you go over and you're exhausted by the end of the evening, but with men, you just go, oh,
it's just a laugh,
I mean, the only time I had a night out with my ex was when I went with 15 from the Spanish Navy, all in uniform. I mean, you like a uniform, don't you, Jane? I know what she's like, so you'd have loved it.
I would have loved it,
and they were all in the braid and all. Oh, it was gorgeous. And I got a beautiful new dress on, and one of them spilt Juan. Juan spilt his Juan drink all over me. And I went, oh, it's all right. That's not Spanish,
no, it's not. You're really not good at accents.
I know.
What was that accent?
It was Spanish, you know, Italian, French.
Kind of Cambodian.
And it was saying, well, it's all right, you can spill anything you want over me. And he went, OK. So I rather liked him. But that's the only time, really, because I never went out with boys or girls, really. I know, not in gangs. I don't like gangs of women and gangs of men. I don't think it's good for you, is it?
Well, I'll tell you who I've had a boys' night out with, and I was lucky enough to be one of the only women along for the ride, was Boyzone.
No.
Yeah.
That's not
a couple of them, actually, but there was one memorable one. Maybe we'll discuss it when they come on a little later, that involved me flying to Jakarta.
It's a long way to go for a
Well, I was interviewing them, and I did this really embarrassing thing of, when I got there, they were arriving after me, so I thought, I'll stay awake, don't want the jet lag to get the better of me. So I fell asleep on a sun lounger, and the sun had obviously moved around. And I had half a tan. And they still took me out. Oh. Yeah, we ended up having a bit of a thing with the police. I can't go into it, but it was a good night out.
Well, I think it's wrong. I think you should let guys go out and have a right good night out. Just the guys. Just like they should let us go out as girls. And I don't think it should mix. I think let them go and off and do it, because sometimes they want to go to a certain club. I'm not generalising here, not all men do, but sometimes they do, and I'd rather they went off and did something.
What sort of clubs do you mean?
I know what you mean.
No!
Yeah!
And you're all right with that?
Yeah!
A bit of what?
A bit of lap dancing.
So Ed says, I'm off out tonight, love.
Yeah.
Where are you going, Ed? Well, probably go for a few drinks, and then I'll let some woman rub a chest in my face for 30 quid. Yeah. And you go, have a lovely time.
Well, yeah, because it's coming on to me. You know, you'd be surprised it might just do the trick, might it? So,
he might have marks all over him of chest when he gets back.
No, that's not, unless... Anyway,
That's value for money, love.
I just say, I'm with you, Jane, on this.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You're all right with it?
all right. I paid for Ray to have a dance.
Did you?
Oh, it's the best 30 quid I ever spent. Kept him out of my hair for 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I'm appalled.
Why?
But you make me die because you go, no, I'd want to know. I'd want to know if you did that.
I would.
And I go, but you'd go absolutely mental. And she goes, yeah. And I go, so you wonder why he doesn't come in and tell you?
Well, no, the answer's simple. Don't disrespect me by jiving around with half-naked women.
Or
I'll kill you.
And men are different.
No way. I have to Listen, I'll tell you what, if we went out and we came home and they said, good night, yeah, went for some dinner, and then this guy stripped off and got his hoo-hoo out and rubbed it all over my face. For 30 quid, in my face like that. What would he say?
I wouldn't care.
Wrong, wrong,
I
wrong.
wouldn't care. I had an ex a long time ago, and he used to say to me he was going to a shoe shop. But he used to come back at about 3 o'clock in the morning with no shoes. And I used to think, well, where are the shoes if he's buying shoes? And he went out, I mean, it was lots he went out with a couple of guys to these shoe shops. And I think they were in Soho or somewhere in London. And I thought, that's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that was shoes.
Well, it's a long time. Never saw the shoes,
No,
Jane.
you wouldn't do.
No.
I bet it when the shoes here, they were shining, eh? Well, I'm sorry to bring reality to your door. Someone had to tell you. OK, time for a break, but don't